Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here, and this is my next Avatar video. This one is going to be my review of the Katara and Sokka Funko Pops. They arrived today, along with Zuko and Iroh, but I'll cover these two in a second video today. Worked out interesting in that the kind of perfect kind of pairs of character arrived here with the four that I got today. I do have Azula on the way, but she hasn't arrived yet. So we'll start off with our Water Tribe siblings for today. So as you can see here, 535 and 536. Here's the what they look like in the package. There's the sort of cartoony version of their characters on the box art. Pretty cool. The back obviously is the same, just with the different characters, and there's the 7 main Funkos that I now have all of, but they don't include the exclusives on the back here. Then you just have their names, and there's nothing really to say about the bottom of the box. So let's jump in and we'll start with Katara. So as you can see here, this is what you get, and as expected, you do get one of these stands here. So the Aang, the main Aang, not the exclusive Aang, came with one of these. Toph didn't, and Appa didn't, because obviously Appa has a very big base already, and Toph, the way they did her earthbending effect, didn't need one also. So that's interesting. I think all of these characters here, these 4 that I got today, actually come with one. You can see it in the package. But yeah, here is Katara out of the package. And you can see here on her feet, this one has the peg hole. So that is where the stand goes in. Now, does she actually stand on her own? Not quite. It has that sort of effect that a lot of the Funkos have of, like, even though they're kind of molded with flat feet, it's not perfectly flat. You can see her foot here is not flat compared to this one. And then this one's off, so that's why it needs the stand. And yeah, it's pretty tight fit, but it does go on. And there, yeah, there we go. That seems about right. So let's get into the details here on Katara. So obviously here the hair is probably where a lot of the detail comes in. So you can see the hair loopies kind of come all the way around here. And it is a separate piece, like it is a little bit of a flexible plastic, of course. Comes into the main sort of braid at the back. Nice details on it, given that it is, I suppose, the main extra detail of the character at this point. It's really, really nice. Then going down, you can see waterbending, open palm style here, which is very, very fitting. It's those little details that I think make these, like, they put a lot of effort into them. That, they didn't just have every character have a closed fist, even if they're doing airbending or waterbending. No, they keep the closed fist for earthbending and firebending, and open for water and air. The water effect part's pretty nice. It comes all the way around the back here. The idea, obviously, her pose is that she's, holding the water here around her back with the other hand. So the water fits the pose that she's doing. And then there's nice detail on, like, her kind of leggings, shoes, and just the different kind of paints and the different blues in here with the different parts of her outfit. So, and then also just about in the back there, you can see the kind of water pouch, where she obviously stores her water for water bending. So, great detail here. The head does move on this one. It's not locked in place like some of them. So you can actually pose a little bit here, have like the pose be more like that, or just, standard, or even, it looks like a broken neck pose if you do it over this way. So, it's just a nice little detail, a little bit of articulation when usually they don't have them. So that's good to see. So we'll put Katara aside and we'll go to Sokka next. So here's Sokka in the packaging, and as you can see, once again, we do get one of these stands for him. And we'll take him out. Does Sokka stand on his own? Not quite. He's a bit back heavy, actually. Other than that, he seems actually fairly flat, but he doesn't seem to stand on his own. So that's interesting. I don't think that's too much of a complaint, you know, that they don't stand on their own. You know, I'm glad they do include the stand. So it's this foot here for Sokka. So yeah, it's a bit tight, a bit of a tight fit, but it'll go in. There we go. So it's now in, and yeah, he stands perfectly fine now. But yeah, let's get into the detailed look at Sokka. So, you know, nothing too much to say about the face, of course, because it's always usually the most plain portion of the character. You know, getting across the kind of shaved parts of his head here because of his warrior wolf tail hairstyle. And then, yeah, some nice detail here. Obviously, the raised bit, because it's obviously this is the bit where he actually has the hair. And then the actual kind of wolf tail, the knot at the back. Pretty nice. The boomerang holder on his back. There's some nice detail, nice paint detail there. And again, just the differentiation between the kind of light blue, the like really light blue, almost white, and then the kind of navy, all the different kind of water tribe colors come across really, really well. Here is the boomerang, and again, that's pretty detailed for, you know, a relatively small accessory here in the boomerang. They have the nice kind of colors there to get across the idea that there's blue, but there's also, you know, white and stuff like that on it. The kind of wrist wraps have nice detail on it, and even just little things like the fact that, you know, the boomerang kind of comes through his hand, and they painted the end of it as well. Yeah, and you have, you know, the little detail there in his neck is quite nice. So yeah, and then just the pose in general, I think, works for him there. Like, you can see even the subtle kind of molded detail here of, like, he's purposefully meant to have a bit of a kind of only have this foot with the kind of toes down type pose. So yeah, really good kind of early Sokka, and again, the head does move on this guy, but again, really, it's only probably suited to kind of staring straight out with the body or looking this way. But still, you know, it's nice that they have that, and don't, you know, force you to lock it into position. So yeah, I think really solid. Sokka was like one of the first ones that we saw. I think the first one, along with Appa. I think we saw them roughly at the same time, and it's nice to have them actually in hand now. So yeah, there's other Sokkas, of course, that they can do, just like there's other Kataras that they can do, but here they are together. And I like that, you know, part of it is that Katara is doing a bit of a kind of you know, really wide pose there, so she naturally comes up shorter than Sokka, but, you know, it's clear that they went as well as the fact that Sokka is taller than her, so that's cool. And yeah, like I said, I think the big thing that they can do going forward is that they could do another Sokka that's like him in the full Day of Black Sun armor with like the wolf helmet and so on. With Katara, I think a lot of people may wait for them to do a book 2 or especially a book 3 Katara, just because I think that is so much the design you associate with her now. Rather than the very early kind of design. I think this is a really excellent kind of rendition of her this early on. Something actually I forgot to mention is there, like, it's kind of hard to see exactly, but you can just about see the betrothal necklace there on her as well. It's a very minor detail because, like, it's hard to get in there just because of how big the head is, but, you know, it is just about there, and it would have been a weird detail to leave off because it's such an important kind of accessory to the character. But yeah, with Katara, like, I think, yeah, book 3 Katara is definitely one I'd be looking for sure to see them do, just because that's how I kind of view Katara at this point in time, rather than her book 1 design. And then something with Sokka that is more of, you know, him in battle with the space sword, more than likely would be the big thing. Hopefully they do something like that. I could even see them maybe doing like a bigger Funko Pop where it's like Sokka on Appa doing the charge thing, where like he's on top of Appa. Just a way to give a bigger Appa as well. But, you know, there are the Water Tribe siblings next to each other, and then we'll bring in some of the other characters here. So here is Aang, of course. So, you know, the original 3 kind of starting out, and of course, you know, Appa would be here as well. You know, them finding these two in the ice, of course. That's when, you know, later on Toph joins the group. It's pretty fun, and of course, we also have Momo as well. So, you know, it's just pretty fun to see, like, the group kind of coming together pretty nicely here. you know, I also have the exclusive Aang on Air Scooter, but that's you know, it's not part of the main set, and there's already an Aang in there. And I think they just look really nice together. You know, the size of Appa definitely sort of stands out still, you know, back when I did the review on this. It's definitely not ideal that they just did him as a standard Funko, but I think later on they can do a bigger one. There's lots of ideas they could do. But I think just, you know, the main characters together look pretty nice together. Obviously with Toph there, you know, the book 1 Katara design maybe doesn't fit as much, but it all, I think, works really, really nicely together for sure. So, you know, this as the review for these two. Very happy with the Water Tribe siblings. For sure. So in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are on the Katara and Sokka Funko Pops here. And let me know what your thoughts are on them, if you have got them already or if you have any questions. But yeah, that's been the video, and we'll do Zuko and Iroh next. And then we'll get to Azula when she arrives. So that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.